The first scream didn't sound human. It tore through the night like a bone snapping in the dark. I froze, my breath clouding in the cold air. The fire crackled, but its light felt too small. Somewhere beyond the circle of flames, something moved. 2 golden eyes blinked once, and vanished. I knew then we were not alone, and we would not all see the sunrise. If you were here, in the dark, with us, would you run or fight? Tell me in the comments before you hear what happened next. And if you want to know how the first humans survived nights like this, subscribe this channel. Because this is only the beginning. The sun bled itself dry, sinking behind black mountains. The sky was bruised purple, streaked with dying light. Our tribe, 12 souls, huddled close, wrapped in skins stiff with frost. The wind carried the scent of wet earth, and something older, something watching. I gripped my spear until my fingers ached. The elders whispered about moving camp before the ice winds came. But the hunters had not returned, and the day was dying fast. A child pointed to the ridge. A shadow moved against the fading light, too big for a deer, too quiet for a mammoth. The fire spat sparks into the dark, but the cold still crept into my bones. I looked at my sister, her eyes wide, her lips trembling, and promised without words that I would keep her alive. We fed the fire until it roared, flames clawing at the night. Shadows danced like spirits on the snow. Every crack in the darkness made heads snap around. The smell of smoke clung to our hair and skins. My palms blistered from carrying burning logs. Somewhere in the dark, something moved, low, deliberate. The hunters returned, but their faces were pale. They carried no meat, only fear. One man's spear slipped from his hand and clattered to the ground. The growl came again, closer this time. It was deep, wet, and hungry. The firelight caught 2 eyes, gold, unblinking, fixed on us. The saber-tooth circled, muscles rippling under striped fur. It did not rush, it studied us. The fire popped, and the beast flinched, but did not retreat. We shouted, banged spears, and threw sparks into the night. The beast stepped closer, testing the edge of the firelight. Its breath steamed in the cold air. I could see the curve of its fangs, longer than my hand. The ground trembled under its weight. A sudden rush. The beast lunged. Screams tore through the night. Spears flew. Firebrands swung. The air filled with smoke and panic. My hand shook, not from cold, but from the choice. Run or fight. The beast retreated into the dark, dragging one of our hunters. His screams faded too quickly. We followed the blood trail, torches high. The snow was churned with claw marks. Beside them, human footprints. They were not ours. The prints were smaller, lighter, but fast. The trail led into the forest, where the trees swallowed the light. The air was colder here, sharper. Every sound echoed too long. Somewhere ahead, something moved. Not the beast, not the wind. We were not alone in this land. The elders argued. Return to camp or follow the trail. I thought of my sister's face, waiting by the fire. I took a torch, a spear, and stepped into the dark. The forest closed around me like a mouth. Snow crunched under my feet, loud in the silence. The torchlight flickered against twisted branches. A shadow moved ahead, fast and low. I followed, my breath loud in my ears. The trail narrowed, forcing me between 2 black stones. A voice called my name from the dark. It was human, but wrong. The voice called my name again, softer this time, almost kind. It slid through the trees like smoke, curling into my ears. I gripped my spear tighter, the wood biting into my palm. My breath came in short bursts, each one a pale cloud in the cold. The torchlight flickered, shadows stretching and shrinking like they were alive. Snow crunched ahead, slow, deliberate, patient. A figure emerged from the dark, face painted in ash and blood. His eyes were sharp, his smile wrong. The smell of animal fat and smoke clung to him. Behind him more shapes appeared, silent as ghosts. They moved like hunters, but their gaze was fixed on me. Spears, tipped with black stone, glinted in the firelight. One of them dragged the hunter the beast had taken. His skin was pale, his leg torn open, his breath shallow. The strangers spoke in a tongue I didn't know. The words were low, almost a growl, but their eyes told me everything. I was prey. We stood in the clearing, the torch between us like a fragile sun. The strangers fanned out, their feet silent on the snow. The wounded hunter groaned, and one of them silenced him with a kick. I raised my spear, my heart pounding in my ears. The leader stepped closer, his shadow swallowing mine. His face was unreadable, carved from stone. He pointed at my torch, then at the forest. I shook my head, my grip tightening. His smile faded, replaced by something colder. The growl came again, not from him, but from the trees. It was deeper this time, vibrating in my bones. The saber-tooth was back. Its eyes glowed in the dark, fixed on all of us. The strangers turned, their spears lowering toward the sound. For a heartbeat we were united, prey facing the same predator. The beast stepped into the clearing, its fur matted with blood. Its breath steamed in the cold, each exhale a ghost. It limped, but its eyes burned with hunger. The strangers spread out, forming a half circle. The torchlight danced across the beast's fangs. It roared, shaking snow from the branches above. The sound tore through the night, scattering birds into the dark. It charged, faster than I thought it could move. The first man it hit didn't even scream. He was gone in its jaws. Blood sprayed across the snow, steaming in the cold. I lunged forward, driving my spear into its side. The beast twisted, claws raking my arm. Pain exploded through me, hot and sharp. The strangers shouted, their voices blending with mine. Spears struck fur, teeth struck flesh. The snow turned red. The air was thick with the smell of blood and smoke. The beast collapsed, its breath ragged and shallow. Its eyes dimmed, but its body still twitched. We stood over it, panting, bleeding, alive. The leader of the strangers looked at me, then at the dead predator. He touched his chest, then mine. I understood. We had fought together, and that meant something. They released the wounded hunter into my arms. His weight sagged against me, his heart beat weak but steady. The leader pointed toward the mountains, his eyes unreadable. Then he vanished into the trees. The others followed, silent as they had come. The clearing was empty except for us and the dead beast. The forest felt different now. Not safer, but known. The hunter leaned on me as we made our way back. Each step was heavy, the snow dragging at our legs. The torch burned low, its light shrinking with every gust of wind. The cold bit at my wounds, making my arm throb. The wind carried the smell of blood, ours and the beast's. Every shadow felt like it was watching. The trees thinned, and the glow of our campfire appeared ahead. My sister ran to me, her face breaking into tears. The tribe gathered, their eyes wide at the sight of the predator's blood on my hands. We laid the wounded hunter by the fire. The elders listened as I told them what had happened. When I spoke of the other tribe, the fire seemed to burn colder. We thought the danger had passed. We were wrong. The snow began to fall, soft at first, then heavy. The fire hissed under the weight of melting flakes. Somewhere in the dark, a horn sounded, deep, hollow, and close. The other tribe had returned. This time, they did not come alone. Shapes moved in the snow, wolves, lean and hungry. The strangers stood behind them, their eyes fixed on us. The wolves growled, their breath white in the cold air. The leader stepped forward, holding something in his hand. It was my spear. The wolves surged forward, teeth flashing. We met them with fire and stone. The air filled with snarls, screams, and the crack of breaking bones. I swung my torch, the flames blinding in the snow. A wolf leaped at me, its jaws snapping inches from my face. I drove my spear into its chest, feeling the life leave it. The strangers shouted, their voices lost in the chaos. One of them broke through our line, heading for the children. I tackled him, the snow exploding around us. We rolled, my hands finding his throat. His eyes widened, then went still. The fight raged on, the snow turning red beneath our feet. The wolves lay still, the snow around them stained red. The strangers were gone, melting into the forest like smoke. The tribe stood in silence, the only sound our ragged breathing. The sun began to rise, pale and cold. Its light touched the blood on the snow, turning it to fire. I looked at my sister, her face streaked with ash and tears. We had survived, but we were not the same. The world had changed in a single night. We were no longer just prey. We were something else now. Something the world would have to fear.